Today is a wonderful day. It's exactly a year back that CREDAI thought about formation of the youth wing. And you'll all be surprised and amazed that within 1 year, they have traversed 17 states, 51 cities, and 1,000 members. And quite a few of the youth. A big, big hand for the youth. Wonderful. In fact, from 1998, when CREDAI was formed, we took many, many years to reach the mark of 1,000, and they've done it in 1 year. And the one challenge that the youth has today is our industry is almost equated to be bootleggers. That stigma, it is in your hands, young boys and girls. It is in your hands that you have to remove the stigma. Once that stigma is removed, then everything will be smooth for you. Just as the IT industry, whatever they ask, the government gives. And this is the state we have to reach. And you have to set a target. 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, doesn't matter. But walk towards that North Star, and you will succeed. And to discuss how do we take the whole thing forward is a wonderful set of panelists, and we have the darling of real estate, Manisha, here with me. Manisha, would you take over?
You know what? I just hope all of you are not bored of seeing me back again on stage, but I promise I will try and make this an extremely interesting discussion. First time actually face-to-face after our Young Guns series with actually the young guns of real estate. Bootlegger or not, I think the word guns is very appropriate for the industry as it charges ahead, and especially for the young generation. What are some of us who are 40 plus doing on the stage is a big question. And the answer to that is that I really wanted to understand between this new generation and the generation above, how are the dynamics at work? What are the points of conflict? What are the points that they come together? How are they planning to take the industry to the next level? Because they must work together. Most of real estate businesses in India are very family-driven and family-run. And now, globally, it's accepted that family-run businesses actually do very, very well as long as they're able to professionalize and bring in new ideas, innovate, and move forward. On that note, I think everybody, thank you very much for joining me. And I promise a spicy session. So no, please do not hold back the young generation. And the 40-plus generation, definitely don't hold back. You got to speak on my side and say whatever you have to the younger generation on this platform. Okay. Now, the first question that I would like to know, and I'm going to ask Viswajith this question. We will start with Chennai. We must first honor the guests who have traveled all the way to NCR. Vishwajith, you're a lucky fellow. I mean, the whole company is named out of you, Navin Housing, okay? That's a huge responsibility on your shoulders. So first question is, and let's not get to the goody-goody part, but tell me when you joined the business, A, did you do it reluctantly, or did you really want to do it?
It's an interesting question, because...
I said no politically correct answers.
No, I'm going to be absolutely correct in the sense I'm going to talk from the heart. The whole idea was, I was exploring several things. I mean, I have in fact, in the youth wing, I had discussions with a couple of others about this yesterday. So the whole idea was, I was very picky. Unlike a lot, I don't know about most people, but I am a very picky guy. I pick only things that I like and I do not. So that kind of limited my options, if you know what I mean. But that's a good thing. You don't go hunting around for what is there because it's only limited. So I thought I will give it a try. You know, it's no harm trying. I spent some time here with a few other consultants and all that. And then I thought it's interesting, so that's how I came here.
So it was, the work in the business was interesting enough to hold you to it.
That's right.
All right. Okay. So what about you, Mr. Kumar? What did you think? I mean, when Vishwajith joined you, what were your expectations? What is he going to bring to the table? Did you think that he should learn the hard way, dirty his hands on the construction sites before you give him a big, higher responsibility?
In fact, it was a pleasant surprise that he decided to come into my company. The fact that he took civil engineering when most of the guys of his age was trying to do IT and information and no internet.
So the back of his head, he did want to join the business.
That was the starting point. That he took civil engineering was an indication. In fact, I gave him freedom. I didn't impose that you do the dirty job. No, you come through from the grinding. No, grind your way up. None of those things, because I gave him absolute freedom to whatever he wanted to do. I let him go. Of course, I wanted him to get some industry exposure, so he wanted to join get some kind of inputs from across the industry. So he went with some consultants. He also had some small stint with another developer in another city, and he wanted to do his MBA. All that, yes, I only enabled him.
Okay.
Not dictating him in which direction to
Okay,
go.
you didn't put a gun to the young gun and say, join the business. Okay.
No way. No way.
The more and more I hear the stories, I find that the second generation really doesn't need convincing. And I think I'm going to toss this next question to someone who decided to join the business and start working at it, running. She used to actually go straight after school to her father's company, Kruti. I toppled over when I heard that. But my question to you is, what is so compelling about this business that it automatically attracts the second generation to join without a thought?
So it was immediately after school, not from school.
Okay.
You know, you look around the world, any city you would look at, it's identified with the skyscrapers that are built in the modern times. It's identified with the historical structures. This is all real estate. It is the identity of nations. And I think it is the most creative fields that any youngster can get the opportunity to even be a part of. It's not like a manufacturing unit where you would be producing the same end product, or which is a raw material of another industry or a finished product for the next 10 years. Every project has a different challenge. It has an unlimited creative scope, whether it be in terms of the architecture, the interior, or the basic lifestyle that you're able to give to an end consumer. Everything from research of, we like to call it anthropological engineering, where we say we study human behavior, we study how families in India react to spaces. And this is not an opportunity that another industry would have given us.
Absolutely, okay. It is a very compelling industry. So I think the next question is going to be to you, Mohit. What did you think? I mean, when you're joining, there was a certain way that the industry was working. Your father was working. The earlier generation was working. When you joined in, what did you think were few things radically which needed to be changed to take it forward and make it younger?
Okay, I would like to answer first the previous question which you asked, Kruti, in like 5 seconds. Real estate is a business which is actually related to the whole economy. Manufacturing or something is like a very, very technical field. Say IT is related to IT. Real estate is an industry which is related to the whole economy. That is something which actually interests me a lot. So I'm fond of reading economy, not only Indian and the world economy. And coming back to your question, I really didn't think that something needs to be changed.
You didn't?
No, I really didn't think that
Okay.
something needs to be changed because my father did
Are you
almost
saying
everything.
that because dad is right
Of
next
course,
to you?
you can't ask me this question right now. So I can say that I improved in a lot of things which he started. I took it forward in a different way, in a lot of initiatives which he started in his tenure, which is continuing right now. So the customer service and the after service, and especially after delivering a product. Once we've delivered a product, our customers are staying in that particular project. We used to forget about those people. But, you know, taking care of those people till now that, you know, on Diwali, sending gifts to them, making that emotional connect with them, that is something which was, again, taught by my father. It's just that I'm doing it and taking it forward.
Okay, so Rohtas, I think I'm going to ask you that. He says nothing had to be changed. So what I'm hearing is that whatever your generation started, understood the importance of, they're taking forward and probably in a far more digital manner, maybe far more, let's say, organized manner. Would that be correct? Is that the value addition?
अभी सेशन चल रहे हैं 2-3 सेशन चल रहे हैं मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाहूँगा I'll be more comfortable in Hindi and I think audience will be with me audience also be understood in Hindi more यहाँ पे जो दो सेशन अभी मैंने देखे थे कि 2014 I'll take 5 minutes time before answering your questions. कि भाई 2014 कैसा रहेगा, रियल एस्टेट में यंग जनरेशन ने क्या चेंज किया है, आपने क्या किया है. गिरा साहब बहुत अच्छा बोले, बहुत ज़बरदस्त बोले, क्योंकि रियल एस्टेट इंडस्ट्री एक स्टैंड अलोन इंडस्ट्री नहीं है कि जिसके बारे में आप पूछ लें कि 2014 आपके लिए कैसा रहेगा, या यंग जनरेशन से पूछ लें कि आप क्या चेंज लाने वाले हो. ये इंडस्ट्री एक कंसोलिडेटेड इंडस्ट्री है. अगर आपकी कंट्री ग्रो कर रही है, अगर वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी ग्रो कर रही है, तो सारी इंडस्ट्री ग्रो कर रही है. आपकी रियल एस्टेट इंडस्ट्री भी ग्रो कर रही है, आईटी इंडस्ट्री ग्रो कर रही है. बेंगलोर आपका रियल एस्टेट आज इतना हिट नहीं है जितना बाकी इंडिया हिट है. क्यों हिट नहीं है? क्योंकि आपकी आईटी इंडस्ट्री उसको चला रही है, पुश कर रही है. तो इंडस्ट्री कैसे चलती हैं, कंट्रीज़ कैसे चलती हैं और ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी कैसे चलती है. जब ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी चलेगी तो इंडियन इकोनॉमी चलेगी, इंडियन इकोनॉमी चलेगी तो रियल एस्टेट चलेगा, और रियल एस्टेट चलेगा तो उसमें ज़्यादा इनोवेशन आएंगे और ज़्यादा बेटर सर्विसेज हम लोग प्रोवाइड कर पाएंगे. तो फंडामेंटली बात यह है कि ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी बेटर कैसे चले, या इंडियन इकोनॉमी की बात करें तो वो बेटर कैसे चले. तो उसको बेटर चलाने का तरीका कहाँ से स्टार्ट होता है. हम लोग जो बिजनेस करते हैं, जो कॉरपोरेट वर्ल्ड में जो लोग काम करते हैं, हम लोग बाय प्रोडक्ट हैं पॉलिटिक्स के. जिन लोगों को हमने देश चलाने को दे रखा है, जो एक सेगमेंट है, जो करीब 100 लोग ऐसे हैं जिनको हमने देश चलाने को दे रखा है. जो लोग मेरा देश चला रहे हैं, उनसे हटके मैं बिजनेस नहीं चला सकता हूं. उनकी डायरेक्शन पर, उनकी पॉलिसीज पर ही मैं अपना बिजनेस, अपना कोई भी बिजनेस चलाता है, चाहे रियल एस्टेट चलाता है, चाहे आईटी चलाता है, उनकी डायरेक्शन के बगैर कोई भी इंसान अपना स्टैंड अलोन बिजनेस नहीं चला सकता है. तो उसके साथ हम लोग कैसे जेल करें और कैसे बेटर प्रोवाइड करें. मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूं. फार्मर अपने खेत में गेहूं बोता है, पहले उसमें गेहूं डालता है, गेहूं उगाता है. बिजनेसमैन अपने खेत में पैसा डालते हैं और पैसा उगाते हैं. कहीं पे पहले इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हैं तो वो अपनी फसल, पैसे की फसल उगाते हैं. ये पॉलिटिशियन क्या उगाते हैं?
ये तो आपने बहुत
क्या उगाते हैं?
सर,
देश को चलाने के लिए 14 लाख करोड़ रुपए साल का बजट होता है. 14 लाख करोड़ साल का जो बजट होता है, उसमें से 10 लाख करोड़ हम कॉर्पोरेट वाले लोग देते हैं. और 10 लाख करोड़ देने के बाद बिजनेस ऐसे करते हैं जैसे पुरानी फिल्मों में दिखाया गया, कच्ची शराब बना रहे, पुलिस वाले सायरन बना रहे थे, वो आया और पकड़ के ले गया. हमारे पीछे इनकम टैक्स, एक्साइज, सेल्स टैक्स, वेट टैक्स, आपका ग्रीन ट्रिब्यूनल, आपका पॉल्यूशन, आपका एनवायरनमेंट. धंधा कहाँ करने दे रहे हैं हम लोगों को? ये लोग बिजनेस कहाँ करने दे रहे हैं? जो लोग इन लोगों को 10 लाख करोड़ देते हैं देश चलाने के लिए, उन्हीं लोगों को तो ये रोक रहे हैं लोग. इकोनॉमी को तो यही लोग रोक रहे हैं. जब ये लोग हमें इकोनॉमी चलाने देंगे, हम लोगों को बेटर प्लेटफॉर्म देंगे, हम लोगों को अच्छी खेती देंगे, तो हम अच्छी फसल बो सकेंगे, अच्छी फसल उगा सकेंगे. इसके बाद सवाल पैदा होता है कि हम अपनी इंडस्ट्री में क्या चीज़ बेटर करें, क्या उसमें रिफॉर्म्स लेके आए. ये बात की बात है. अब आपके मैं सवाल का जवाब देता हूं कि आपको आज की डेट में क्या रिफॉर्म्स चाहिए, इंडस्ट्री में क्या रिफॉर्म्स चाहिए. जमीन को अफीम बनाने वाले ये हैं, लक्ष्मण रेखा खींचने वाले ये हैं. मास्टर प्लान जहां तक खींच दिया वहां तक की जमीन 5 करोड़ रुपए एकड़, उसके बाद 50 लाख रुपए एकड़. पॉलिटिशियन लक्ष्मण रेखा खींचते हैं और फिर कॉकस बनाते, कहते हैं 50 लाख वाली खरीद लो, लक्ष्मण रेखा बाद में और आगे खींच देंगे हम लोग. धंधा, हम धंधा कर रहे हैं, धंधा वो लोग कर रहे हैं. हम लोग इनके वेंडर हैं, जॉब वर्कर हैं. बिजनेस वो कर रहे हैं, हम इनके वेंडर हैं. बिजनेस हम नहीं कर रहे हैं. टुडे इन इंडिया politicians are doing business and businessman is doing politics. Why he is doing politics? Because without politicians' blessings, he cannot do business. Let me focus on my business. Let them focus on their politics. It's not being happen in India.
Absolutely.
It's very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Now I'm coming to your point. To answer your question.
I am so stumped and speechless. I'm very happy to change this discussion completely to, do we need a political change right now?
आज ये अगर इनके पास फसल है, आज 10 लाख करोड़ देने वालों की फसल है, ये लोग चाहते हैं कि 10 लाख करोड़ वालों से ही 20 लाख करोड़ ले लिया जाए तंग करके।
बिल्कुल
यही चाह रहे हैं ना। इनको फसल बोनी चाहिए कि जो आज 10 लाख करोड़ है कल 40 लाख करोड़ देने वाले पैदा हों। ये तो जो आज 10 लाख करोड़ देने वाले उन्हीं को मारने के लिए बैठे हुए हैं, उन्हीं को देश छोड़ने के लिए मजबूर कर रहे हैं, उन्हीं की सेकंड जनरेशन को ये कहने के लिए मजबूर बैठे हैं, भाई हमने गलती करी, रियल एस्टेट का बिजनेस कर लिया, आप मत करना बच्चे, बहुत परेशानी है।
चलिए उसको एक थॉट लेके चलते हैं।
मैं आपके क्वेश्चन का आंसर देने वाला हूँ। 60 के दशक से लेके 80 के दशक तक जब लाइसेंस का राज था तो माल बेचा जाता था, सेलिंग स्ट्रेटजी बनाई जाती थी, राइट? 80 के दशक से लेकर के 2000 तक क्या होने लगा कि भाई खाली सेल करने से काम नहीं चलेगा, कस्टमर को रिटेन भी करना पड़ेगा। जब कंट्री लिबरलाइज हुआ, कंपटीटर आए, तो जो कस्टमर जिसके थे वो कस्टमर भागने लगे। एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे किसी बड़े प्लेयर के जो कस्टमर थे वो छोटे कस्टमर के पास भागने लगे क्योंकि कंपटीशन पैदा हो गया। तो उसके बाद पहले सेल स्ट्रेटजी, उसके बाद कस्टमर को रिटेन करने की स्ट्रेटजी। अभी गोइंग फॉरवर्ड 2013 के बाद क्या होने वाला है, वो ये होने वाला है कि कस्टमर इतना ज़्यादा इंटेलिजेंट और इतना ज़्यादा समझदार और इतना ज़्यादा एजुकेटेड और इतना ज़्यादा वेल कनेक्टेड हो गया है कि पूरा वर्ल्ड एक छोटे से विलेज में कन्वर्ट हो गया है। ही नोज एवरीथिंग, he knows his rights. So you'll have to be connect with the customer, with your emotions, with your ethics, professional ethics, and you'll have to deliver the quality product to the customer. Then only you will be successful. Otherwise you will be failed. You will be out of the race.
Yes. Okay. Now that we've talked about the fact that politicians are basically doing business and they're not allowing businessmen to do their job, I'm going to ask you one more question, Rohtas sir. Politics is the next career? अगर real estate नहीं चला तो आम आदमी पार्टी अब चॉइस है।
सर मैं आम आदमी पार्टी को सल्यूट करता हूँ। इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मैं जिन लोगों ने पहले बलिदान दिए, अच्छे कांग्रेस में भी अच्छे लीडर्स पैदा हुए हैं, बीजेपी में भी अच्छे लीडर्स पैदा हुए हैं, मैं पार्टी पे बिलीव नहीं करता, मैं आदमी पे बिलीव करता हूँ। आम आदमी पार्टी में भी हो सकता है कि केजरीवाल एक बेस्ट प्लेयर हो, राष्ट्रभक्त हो, अच्छा जानता हो, पर उसकी सारी पार्टी में सारे लोग ऐसे हों उसकी मैं गारंटी नहीं लेता।
चलिए उस नोट पे
उसकी मैं गारंटी नहीं लेता। तो पॉलिटिक्स करियर नहीं है, पॉलिटिक्स करियर नहीं है। जिसका जो काम है,
पॉलिटिक्स तो बिजनेस है,
पॉलिटिक्स तो बिजनेस है, यू अंडरस्टैंड?
ओके Mohit, to you now the question. I think the biggest challenge which must have astounded you, even though you've seen your father navigate the approval process, the red tape is in, the bureaucracy, the political, clout over real estate, was that something that is also the biggest disappointment for the next generation? Why is it so difficult to do this business?
Yes, definitely, you're right. This whole cloud of politics and bureaucracy and everything which actually Mr. Goel just talked about looks very, very scary to us.
Is it that scary?
It
or
looks
do you
scary
think
from the
the
outside,
younger generation also has learned how to navigate?
I personally haven't gone into this, but looking at my father
all the dirty job is still being done by dad.
Yes, the hard work is with dad. So it looks very scary from outside, not professional at all, and as he said, they are the businessmen and we are the vendors. So, I mean, listening to them, which is not genuine and not ethical at all, it looks very scary to us. And I'm sure the second generation would also be feeling the same. I mean, it's...
Okay. Mr. Arora, how do you teach there will be a time till which you will obviously continue to navigate through the labyrinth of approvals, policies, lobbying that needs to be done at every level to keep this business going, because it's not simple to do real estate in this country. But at some point in time, you will have to hand over even that part of the job to the youngsters, isn't it? To Mohit next. How will you prepare, or do you hope that tab tak change aa jayega?
I think it's a big challenge in the industry. As Mr. Goel just he was expressing his views.
So how do you prepare the next generation, sir?
This is we are worried कि हम लोग तो ठीक है कैसे भी करके हमने उसको अप्रूवल लिया, कैसे भी करके हम लोग उनके पीछे लग के और विद इनकी डिमांड के हिसाब से हम लोग लगे रहे. कोई एक बार नहीं आएगा हम 10 बार जाएंगे, 10 बार नहीं आएगा हम 20 बार जाएंगे. But I think new generation will not go over there like this. This is the big challenge. I am worried for all these things.
Worried. Sushil, Mantri, you've been quiet. Because obviously, I think if we had sat in a semicircle, it would have been easier. I could have seen everybody. But Sushil, I mean, what's the way out? Is it state level? I mean, all of you represent a huge diaspora across the country, developers. It's not from one region. What do you think? What is the way out for this generation when it comes? They don't want to deal with that kind of red tapeism and labyrinth of policy. How do we make it slightly easier for them?
See, what happened when I was also young, when I came to the business, I was also carrying the same philosophy that I will not give bribe, I will not do this, that, whatever. But over a period of time, I think I learned everything and I become champion of it. I'm expecting something like that should not happen to this young generation, because I remember up to 91, our country was going through license Raj and so many things. You know, opening one factory was at least 2 to 3 year program. But 91, our new leadership came with new thinking, and thereafter we have seen our entire Indian economy had changed. And if you see that decade, as well as after the 2000, because I think whatever size today, we all the members sitting in the hall, I think everybody has gone up by 1 digit. Means, you know, that kind of growth we have seen. And that was possible. So I think I am sincerely hoping something good will happen and some leadership will realize the importance of real estate, which can become really a growth driver for our country. And that benefit will go to this young generation. And I'm quite optimistic and hopeful about that.
Okay. You know, Manisha, I must say one thing, that I have chaired a couple of sessions at CREDAI and attended some of the events. This is truly the most honest forum that I've seen. Since morning, nobody is restraining. From till now, developers used to be very careful of the words that they used in public. For the first time, I'm seeing everybody is being honest and actually expressing anger, and that's, I think, the biggest change, isn't it? But go ahead, Mr. Kumar.
Manisha, I just want to have a different perspective. We always believe, the approvals, the processes are bad, the government is bad, the politics is bad, and that is coming in our way. And because the youngsters are here, I want to give a different perspective. See, the rules of the game are there. When you want to play football, you learn the game. When you want to play cricket, LBW is out. When we enter the field, we know that is a rule. And this field, when the youngsters also come in, there are rules of the game which we need to understand and play the game to the rules. If there are delays in approval, that is given when you come. While we aspire as elders, we want to bring down the delays. We want to bring down the cost. All that is aspirational. We want working on that. But today, there is a delay. First, accept that. This is the game we are going to play, because that changes the mindset. The moment you come in with a fear or apprehension, oh God, there is politics, there is all that, there is delay, there is bureaucracy, red tapeism, everything, this is very scary. No. You are entering the field. You are into the ring. Until you enter the ring, you can be scared outside the ring. Once you are inside the ring, the rules of the game is very, very clear. Accept. Bring that into your philosophy. So it takes 2.5 years, 2 years to get approval. First of all, while we work on bringing down the delays, bring it into a system. Yes, it is going to take 2 years. I'm not going to commit to my customers until my approvals are on. This is going to take time. So that kind of understanding, yes, there is red tapeism, there is delay, but build into your system. I think there is a price to pay for doing business in any country. There is a price to pay for doing business in this country. That price has to be paid. So that has to be accepted first and then work on.
I think that's a very, very well put point, which, yes, if you know the rules of the game, approval processes do take
Manisha, I would like to add here, Mr. Kumar very well said, but what I feel from my perspective, that there are no rules to this game. There
are no rules.
There are no rules to this game, no rules to the politics actually. you don't know how much it's going to cost me to get the approval of this project. Whatever I see, whatever I feel when I see my father working into this thing, it might cost X, and it might also cost X into 100 based on the relationship and many other factors actually.
Yeah.
That's not about it. You get the approval and you think my cost is fixed and I'm ready to go from now. But after a few months you get to know, no, now there is a new NGT, and which will come into your way and stop your project. That actually might cost another fortune to the company and hit your
so
P&L.
you're saying, it's okay to have a set of rules which then everybody plays by. But here I think what's happening is that the rules change at the whims and fancies of the authorities, and nobody has clarity on what those rules will be and how quickly they will change.
I want to come in here. I'll tell you, that is what is making the game exciting. There are uncertainties. See, you are not sure.
I like the counter opinion.
That itself is a rule. The rule is it's not static, it's dynamic, and it keeps changing. The target keeps moving.
I'm so sorry to
interfere. Makes the game more interesting, more challenging. That should inspire you more rather than frighten you.
All right.
Manisha, I'm so sorry to interfere. I think we are moving,
completely away from the topic. Okay, so I'm going to bring back the focus on the youth wing, the young generation, and what is expected of them. So let me have you come in, sir, and tell me, you opened this discussion that there are a lot of hopes. The CREDAI youth wing has done an exciting job in terms of just getting everybody together and the way they have gained popularity. But if you were to, lay out 3 goals for them in terms of how they would value add to the industry, what would those be?
Never get disheartened with all the talks. I don't think they can handle it. They can definitely handle it.
They can.
And my dad used to go personally to the Taluk office or the Zilla office or the state government. Today we have liaison officers. They'll find new ways to handle things, and there is no need. And 2, I am very, very optimistic. Winds of change are definitely to blow. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. This was Krishna said, and he is going to come. In what form? I do not know. He is going to come whenever there is dharma glani. He is going to come and he is going to change. Winds of change are definitely going to be there. Don't get disheartened, youngsters. 3, keep your goals. As I said in the beginning, North Star. Don't unwaveredly proceed towards the North Star, and one day or the other, it may be 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, you will definitely reach your goal. Never, we have seen the world, we are always say negative things because 30, 40, 20 years we have seen, and all those things come when we sit and talk to you. But never, never, you take it as only some of the guidelines, and you have your own path laid out towards the North Star.
Towards the North Star. Kruti Jain, tell me, what is your goal? What is it that you want to add to your company, more and over what your father has done?
As we heard, people have different reasons for joining this business, whether it be the creative aspect of it, whether it be the economic aspect of it, the learning that is got across the industry. For me, the reasons were highly emotional when I started. But I found a very different niche and possibility that I could really continue within this industry. I think the biggest goal that over a period of time that I have actually set out for the company is to make sure that coming 10 years, this decade, we have to create iconic structures, style of living, satellite cities, infrastructure that growing India needs in these metros. Whether they be infrastructure projects, whether it be real estate projects, whether it be IT industries, the sunrise industries. The world says that China is the manufacturing hub of the world. Paris is the fashion capital of the world. India needs to be the service capital of the world. There is absolutely no industry in India that cannot service outsourcing, that cannot incentivize a cheaper manufacturing. We can change the way the world looks at us. We're not only a powerhouse. So yes, for me, I want people to see India as the clean, beautiful, environment-friendly environment that it needs to be. But that does not mean that the Environment Ministry takes 2 years for me to realize my vision. So yes, there are a lot of challenges. but we're making history here. You have 200 people here who can become billionaires overnight because they're not risk averse. This is that one industry that can make sure that even if you don't have a background, but you are willing to work hard, you'll get results. So besides the bureaucracy, I think bravo to all of them to deliver whatever we are.
Absolutely. And no, I mean, I think if you only aim for being globally the best, whether it's to set up iconic structures or urban structures, all of that has to come together. Mohit, what's your goal? What are you going to add to your father's business?
I think we're speaking a lot. Believe me, youth people, they don't speak a lot, they do a lot. So they believe in action. So I'll sum it up like one sentence. I bring aggression with a lot of impatience on table in a good way. Impatience could be a good way it's a positive adjective as well. And as my father just said that we need to create an emotional connect. I just want any stakeholder getting associated with our company, he should be super duper happy. He should just say that, okay, this is the company and this, maza aa gaya business karke, wah, kya company hai. Simple.
Oh, wow. That's the most delightful sentence. And I think I'm going to use it as a promo on the channel because I think the biggest perception issue is that has real estate lost a little bit of trust because the industry is so huge, even 5 bad fishes could spoil everything. So each company now has to work in gaining back that trust. Okay, Vishwajith, I know you're in the corner, but not forgotten. Absolutely not. I mean, how would you like to take Navin Housing? I mean, I know I have a second home in Chennai, and I know the credibility that you already enjoy in that market. How do you carry that legacy forward and add to it? Whatever has been created, you need to take it manifold.
To answer this question, I would actually address it in 2 segments. The first segment is it's an evolutionary process. Anything that is happening, what do you do today and what do you do tomorrow? There's going to be some difference. And what you did yesterday versus what you're doing today, there is going to be an evolution because you've learned something. And this evolution is a constant and it's a given. It has to happen. And driving this evolution will be the first and foremost. I mean, if I am not evolving, if I'm not growing with the market or staying ahead of the market or staying somewhere in the front in every aspect, be it product, be it technology, or be it the speed of delivery of homes, or be it any such thing, staying evolved ahead or with the market becomes critical. That's one part. I mean, lifestyle changes are happening. People are the way a home buyer was 10 years ago. He's a completely different person today.
To catch the pulse of the young buyer, I think that's an important thing that the next generation can do.
Right. Of course, it's part of the evolutionary process. If I do not catch it right, I'm not going to survive. So that's one thing. And then the second part is this industry, for whatever reason, I mean, there have been splurges, there have been bits and pieces. This industry has not seen a revolution, I don't know, ever since the first home was built. We are still building homes, and I don't know why. I mean, it could be the way it is. Maybe I could end up finding
getting beaten outside.
No light at the end of the tunnel. So, but however, that search is always going to be there. Try and create a revolution. There have been revolutions in bits and pieces. For example, someone comes up with the tallest building in the world, or the swankiest serviced home in the world, or such things have happened, but nothing revolutionary has happened. Maybe a home on Mars, I don't know.
Okay, so next CREDAI meet, we'll wait for your revolutionary idea. And Mohit, Arora, what's your goal? What are you going to add to Supertech's existing business?
There are 2 things which I would like to work upon, and I've been working upon. First is innovation. What is innovation? Basically, what we have been doing so far as an industry was very basic real estate, be it homes and malls. And India hasn't seen the real estate, that's what I say, which word has been seeing since many years. So innovation is something which I would like to work towards, like innovation can be of anything. Innovation means being different from rest of the world. It might be a tallest building or a different kind of mixed-use development, or in fact different ways of building a building. Maybe bringing in new technology like precast or something else which makes our construction quality better and cheaper. And so innovation is something which I would like to work
innovation,
towards.
you want to do something different, something new.
Yeah, something
and that
new.
would add value.
And yeah, it might not be new to the world, but new to the India or the local market we are working in. Second thing I would like to work towards is to bring transparency to this industry. We as a real estate company handles one individual's maybe lifetime income, lifetime savings, which he puts into a house or investment. So this gives us very, very big responsibility. It is a responsibility equivalent to bank. When we deposit our money into bank, that gives a lot of responsibility to the bank. So it gives a lot of responsibility to us. Unfortunately, our industry doesn't have that kind of transparency and right ways to actually handle the investment of our customers. So I would like to work towards that and bring more transparency, more liquidity for our customers, and things which can build more trust on the industry. Actually.
No, I'm actually very happy to hear both the Mohits, focus on the customer. I think that's one big change that the next generation is bringing, is that the focus is shifting more and more on delivery and customer. Mr. Arora, now I'm going to shift the gear because we've only got 2.5, 3 minutes, but I also need to understand, and please be very honest about it. If in the decision-making process, or if there was something that you would like a little bit more from your son to do, or do it differently, what would that be? कुछ तो लड़ाइयाँ होती होंगी सर, थोड़ी बहुत.
देखिए डेफिनेटली बिकॉज जब न्यू जनरेशन कहीं बिजनेस में ऐड होती है उनके अलग व्यूज़ होते हैं, बट आई हैव सीन इन दिस विद मोहित, he always give some positive input to the company. Initially, जैसे कि हम लोग we are working in the unorganized, we was working in the unorganized sector. Definitely, we were required to have some organized things in the company, the transparency in the company, and as far as his talking as the innovations. Definitely, we were very behind in India as compared to any developed country. So these things was required. ठीक है, हमको वो accept करने में थोड़ा time लगा, but definitely it was.
Okay, थोड़ा सा. I think that's a generation gap. Rohtas, what is the point of difference? You be the most upfront here, but if you really wanted to have Mohit look at the business slightly differently or understand your perspective, where would that be?
Honestly speaking, Mohit has not gone out of the country to do further higher studies. After graduation from Delhi University, he has done MBA in my university. 4 years back, he joined Omaxe, and since 4 years, he's learning under me. So whatever I knew till date has been transferred to Mohit, so there is no question of difference.
देखिए. Sushil, Mantri, okay, yes, please respond to that.
I think I should add, for me, my father is like Chalti Firti Harvard University. Believe me, he's like Gita for me, Harvard University for me. I mean, everything. Whatever I've learned from him. And I really think in real estate industry, he is the Baap. Simple.
Okay, wow. I'm just so glad my father is not here. He would have just said, what happened to you when you were growing up? You were fighting with me on everything. Sushil, Mantri, words for Kruti? Come on, I'm sure you have. And for this generation.
No, I have very simple advice. Don't listen to us, hear us.
Well said. And I always believe, and I think that's what, now that we're all talking about first and second generation, I think something which held me in good stead and let me grow as a journalist and my career was a Khalil Gibran statement which says, give your children your heart, but not your mind. Over to you, sir, to conclude.
Thank you, Manisha. That is a wonderful session. Manisha provoked the entire panel so beautifully. A lot of things came out. And one thread that, if I can point out, is the fear of this murky surroundings that we have to work with. But we have Kumar Gera, one of the founders here, right from his time. He has been harping on code of ethics. Our current chairman, Lalit Kumar, made it as a theme, mission transparency. CREDAI is working, my dear young men, towards achieving transparency in this field, not just within, it is outside us also. In the government, we are appealing to the government to come out clean. And you can be assured one day that this industry will be clean. The people we are working around us will also be clean. And anytime you want us, we are there. I just want to end with one little story. A father and a son were going in a road, and there was a huge boulder obstructing them. Father said, "Come on, son, move it." Son went, tried to push, tried to do a lot of things. It didn't move. Came back to the father. "Father, I can't do that." "Have you explored all the opportunity?" "Yes, father, I did this, I did." "Did you ask for my help?" He said, "No." You chart your own path. You chart your own path. But whenever you're in difficulty, do look back. We do not want to intervene, but you can always come and ask us for help. If it is possible, we'll lend it. Thank you very much, panelists. Thank you very much, Manisha.